What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. One of the comments I saw in an older video was that can I please show the team at the start and the end of the videos, and yes, of course I can. This is the team that I've taken into the start of Foot Champs. Some names in there that we've never used before: COSTA, Golan, Vincent Kompany, and Thibaut Courtois. And what you're going to see through this video, and spoilers are inbound, right? Because this is the way I do my Foot Champs gameplay. I kind of talk about the gameplay at the start, then we go into some questions. Foot Champs was just weird this weekend. FIFA was just weird this weekend. I don't know, like, I first of all want to preface this by saying everyone has the same problems, right? So if the game's laggy for me, it's laggy for my opponent. If everyone's getting exceptional input lag, I'm also getting exceptional input lag. My opponents are getting exceptional input lag. So on that note, I know that a lot of the losses I took this weekend were still my fault. It was just frustrating to play in. I know it was still my fault. I know I'm the person to blame. And I know taking on players that I just wasn't familiar with without testing them out in Division 1 was a huge error for me. Definitely shouldn't have done it. With that being said, the gameplay was just really sluggish this weekend. And like I said, that's no excuse because everyone suffered from it. It wasn't just me suffering from it. So it's not like I'm sitting here and I've got a special version of FIFA that's, you know, EA have given to me that makes NepentheZ get like bad gameplay and no one else. But here we are. So the first game I played, I ended up losing on penalties. I dived the right way the first time and it hits the body of my keeper and then still manages to go in. And 2 weekends ago, I won like 4 straight penalty shootouts over the last 2 weekends, and look at that, that goes through my keeper, by the way. But I dived the right way 2 times in a row and it goes through my keeper. But yeah, I'm losing penalty shootouts like you wouldn't believe right now. But we had a bad start to the Foot Champs, losing our first game, and I was thinking, oh my god, it's going to be one of those weekends. And it doesn't unfortunately get that much better throughout this episode. So yeah, that's Foot Champs. Idiotic to take the team that I took into Foot Champs. I had many other alternatives that I could have gone with, and basically let myself down. I should have gone with Koscielny in a centre back rather than Kompany. I just liked the look of Kompany for a while, and he was genuinely a liability for me. So here we are, 3-2. My opponent takes a penalty, scores to make it 4-2. That is game over. We lose game 1. We end up going on a 4-game win streak after this, which was pretty good. But I made many changes to the team throughout the 40 games this weekend, and you'll see them as we get through the gameplay. First comment is from Room 3 Thinkers. Says, I'm so scared to have grade 6 graduation today. Can you wish me some luck? Good luck. I think that's how that's done. Good luck. Good luck. Jason Victor, hey Nep, what do you think EA would do if Diego Costa won Player of the Month again for December? They'd obviously just give him another Player of the Month card. And look, by the way, look at those stats, man. I know he had 8 shots, 4 on target, but he had like 2 shots inside my box. I had 2 shots outside his box. Just the low-driven shots this weekend, they just weren't there. They just weren't there. He'll get another. He'll basically just get an upgraded card, dude. His current Player of the Month won't get upgraded. It will still be as it is. What EA seem to have done for the last 2, for Hazard and for Costa, is put squad building challenges in that are relevant to something that's happened in Ultimate Team over the previous month. For example, this time around they put in that Diego Costa squad building challenge for you to have a team of 8 informs from 8 different clubs, right? Which seems like unreasonable. Like, it's like, whoa, that's like, you know, at least 100 to 120k. Like, what? That's unreasonable. But it's not really that unreasonable when you think just 2 weekends ago we had the Black Friday stuff where they had those squad building challenges where you could get untradeable informs, and then you had the Team of the Week inform packs and so on and so forth, right? So there was just an absolute plethora of informs in the game in people's clubs as untradables, and I think it was a smart way to give people value to those untradeable Buonanottes that they might have had in their club, or the untradeable Jermaine Defoe that they probably picked up like 9 times. Like, I think they were smart to give value to those cards. So if a high-rated player gets another Player of the Month, be it Hazard again, be it Costa again, the way Chelsea are playing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Costa again. If Costa gets another one again, I would anticipate that it would be something in line with what happens throughout the Christmas period. So if EA drops something, you know, these blue cards, maybe it'll require a blue card. You know, like a team of the tournament, team of the group stage card, or something like that. You know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that. Anton Lund says, is Diego Costa worth it if you don't have any players to put in? Also, are the kits worth collecting? In my opinion, the kits are worth collecting. They're really cheap. People overpay on the kits because what people tend to do is use what they already have in their club and then buy what they need to fit around what they already have in their club. For example, you might have right now for the kit that's out today that you're watching this, you need 11 of the Saudi League players from 11 different clubs, right? So let's say you've got 10 of those players and you just need a right back from a club that you don't have, and you go and check right backs from other clubs that you don't have, and they're all 10,000 coins. You'll just buy that because it's just you just need that player. Screw it, I'll buy that one guy, boom, put him in, get the kit, happy days. Which is an error. What would actually be more beneficial is going out and buying a whole new team that fits, because you can get the whole team within that 10k budget that you bought that right back for. So, are the kits worth collecting? Yes, I enjoy collecting the kits. They're very cheap to get, they're very easy to get, and although I don't wear them, they're very nice to have in the club. Is the Costa worth getting if you don't have any players to put in? I'm going to reserve judgment on that overall, but right now I would say no. Like, my opinion on this may change, but I played with him for a bit in Foot Champs, and what I found was when I bring him on as a super sub, he's unreal. When I start him, he's just not up to scratch. He's not good enough. You'll see, I score not many goals. I think I scored with like 3 goals in 5 with him, and then I took him out of the team and put Lacazette back in, and as a substitute, he started scoring goal after goal after goal. So, yeah, right now I'd say if you don't have any of the players and you don't really have too many coins and stuff, don't get him. He's not worth it. Guilty Guillaume says, GG Nep, 12 weeks, 84 episodes, God bless. And if you obviously do the math, 7 times 12 is 84. There have been a couple of days where we've double uploaded, but we haven't missed a day, which is awesome. I thought it would be hard to run 2 FIFA channels, daily videos and such, but it's not easy, but it's fun. I'm really enjoying what's going on right now. Now, I know you're probably thinking, you've just won a couple games in a row, and now you're going and getting new players. I went and got Alba, I went and got Ramos, I sold Courtois, I sold Company. Company, even in those 2 games I was winning, is just a liability. He is not good at all. He's just not good. So I got rid of him. I thought to myself, if we go Spanish, get Lopez, Ramos, Alba, put Costa up front, can have Hector Bellerin at right back. Like, we got a lot of options. Basically, that was pretty much a mistake as well, because all I'm doing here is losing coins, man. I'm just losing coins on tax, losing coins on buying players and then selling them for cheaper than I bought them for. Just making huge errors over and over again. What I should have done is just stuck with what I know and what I knew and gone back to what was successful for me and sacrificed the right players rather than the wrong players. And that will become more apparent in a couple of episodes' time. But yeah, we're 84, 85 episodes in now. That's awesome. Thomas Ferradini says, the guy that said no Kante, no Elite was right. Seeing your Twitter, man, by the way, love your vids. And what he's referring to is the person that did say no Kante, no Elite. Somebody on Twitter, or maybe in a comment that I tweeted out, said I won't get Elite because I haven't got Kante watch. And I actually put Kante back in the team very quickly. I think even before the end of this episode, Kante goes back into the team, just because I could feel that I was missing him. I think in general for me, a lot of people question my midfield choices over the last few weeks of having Matic, Kante, and who's my other midfielder? I had 3 medium highs, didn't I? I had Matic, Kante. I literally can't even remember who the other midfielder I had was, but whoever it was 3 medium high CMs, and I think the defensive quality that they gave me was unreal. And now this weekend, I've got Nainggolan high, I've got Dembele medium. Like, it's just, I've got De Bruyne high attacking work rate. Rooney I think is medium low. Like, the work rates are so different. Whilst I don't necessarily believe that they have the ability to tune the whole way I play, I definitely think that they have some variant on how I play, you know, because I could feel that I wasn't as strong defensively. Even in these games that I was winning, and I'm telling you this as a fact, guys, these games that I was winning, I wasn't winning them comfortably. It may look like I was dominating, it may look like the stats were good, it may look like things were going in my favour. They absolutely were not. It was so tough. Every single game was so tough. I was struggling to score goals, struggling to put in the simplest of chances. The shots that I've been putting in week on week on week, where people are saying, how do you keep doing those low-driven shots? I try it and they never go in for me. That's me this week. I'm literally sitting there hitting these low-driven shots that are 10 out of 10 goals last weekend, and they're either going way, way wide, or they're going straight into the keeper's arms. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what's changed? What's different? I haven't changed. I'm not an idiot in FIFA, right? I know when I've been outplayed. I know when it's been a close game that could have gone either way, and I know when I'm in control. I know what shot types work and where. I know the game mechanics. I know how to abuse the game mechanics. I might not be incredible at abusing the game mechanics, but I know how to abuse the game mechanics. So when I continually do the exact same thing that I've done over and over and over, and then all of a sudden it stops working, I can't help but think, EA have done something. They have to have done something. They have to have soft patched low-driven shots, because they just did not work to the same kind of ability as they did last weekend, which for me was interesting. What's even more interesting is going to be next weekend, when you're able to use any team again and you don't have to use you know, a team with like certain specifications. I'm going to be playing my team. My team next weekend league is going to be, in goal is going to be Butland again, because I tried Courtois. I'm just not having it, man. Butland is just too good. It's going to be Bellerin at right back. It's going to be Bayern Smalling at centre back. It's going to be Inform Walker at left back. In centre midfield, I'm going to have Paul Pogba. I'm going to have Nemanja Matic, and I'm going to have Inform Kante. Those are going to be my three midfielders. And then up front, I'm going to have Eden Hazard. I'm going to have Diego Costa, and I'm going to have Theo Walcott, the red Walcott that I've got. And that's going to be my team. And now, I know some people might think maybe I should use that Roberto Firmino that I've got, the red one. I want to use him, but I don't want to sacrifice winning games just for the sake of having a red card in the team, you know. I would rather not have the red card and use him as a sub. So that's going to be my team next weekend. And if things start clicking again with Costa in the team and not Lacazette, then I would believe wholeheartedly that it was me playing bad this weekend and letting everything get into my head. And you know, like, I fed into the FIFA's broken kind of nonsense. And whilst the gameplay did feel sluggish, you just can't deny that. I hate the fact that I use that as an excuse to find it okay to lose. So when I'm losing these games now, I'm tweeting out, oh man, I was like, you know, I was 4-1. I was doing great. The one that I lost was on penalties. It could easily have been 5-0. And now, before you know it, I'm 4-4. And people are like, don't worry, NepentheZ, the game's broken this weekend. I'm seeing threads on Reddit about it all over the place. I'm getting tweeted 100 times a day. Is FIFA bad for you today? I see threads on the forums about it. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about that loss. FIFA's bad today. That's crap. I'm playing the same game as my opponent, and I let it feed into my head that FIFA is broken, not something I'm doing is wrong. You know, even the pros were saying the game felt sluggish and stuff, but they still got exceptional records. So the fact that I was losing games was due to me not clicking, not getting the right things in place. And to my credit, I tried multiple different things. I tried rotating my team several times. I changed the way I played players. I changed the player instructions. I changed the order I have players in the team. I changed the team to try and find something that worked. And not until the very end of the weekend league did I finally find something that worked and salvaged my weekend. And this will be a spoiler, so don't listen to the next 30 seconds if you don't want to know how I ended. But I basically got to 16 wins and 11 losses, which meant I had 13 games left, and I needed to win 13 games to get into Elite 3. I haven't missed out on Elite in 3 weeks now, so this would have been sad if it was the first one. I changed my team. I got the Ivory Coast players into the team. I put Eric Bailly back at centre-back. I got Aurier at right-back. I got Yaya Toure at right centre-mid, and played with a BPL team for the rest of it, with Lacazette and Fekir still. And I won 12 of my final 13 games. And the only game I lost was a game in which I absolutely deserved to lose. My opponent was considerably better than me. He beat me 4-0. He was head and shoulders better than me. I got no qualms about it. So looking back at those 13 games, and then looking back at the 27 prior to that, I just sit here disappointed with myself that I didn't make these changes after game 10 or after game 15 or after game 20? Why did I wait until game 27 to make these changes? And I'm very like, I'm just pretty distraught with myself. And this game here, by the way, guys, this was one of the most frustrating games I've ever played in. I don't really get that angry at FIFA anymore, right? I don't get rage, I don't scream and shout. This was one of those games where I was ready to break something. Every single attack my opponent had, he found the back of the net. It was just uncanny. By hook or by crook, he got the ball in the back of the net every single time he got into my box. And it was ultimately incredibly frustrating. And after that, I was like, you know what, this Alba, Ramos, Lopez, it's just not working. You can see that. I mean, he deserves to win the game. There's no question. His passing is great. He's got more possession than me. But 11 shots, 10 on target, 7 goals. That's clinical finishing at its finest. But in Ultimate Team, you don't expect that. From 11 shots, 10 on target, you expect 3, maybe 4 goals. So I still would have lost. But to lose by 7 was just pretty savage. But one thing I'm interested in is, and there is a counter argument to this, but one thing I'm interested in is, why do EA put specifications to a tournament when you can avoid them by making substitutions? So one of the game that I lost to the guy who was just head and shoulders better than me 4-0, he made 3 subs straight away, bringing on Aubameyang, Bale, and I think it was Ronaldo, but it might have been someone else. I can't remember like right now off the top of my head. And it's like, what's the point of having, like, what's the point of saying you can have 3 nations max if you could just sub on 3 different nations straight away, right? And so some people say, oh, but, you know, he's wasting his chance. He no longer has subs in case the game goes to extra time. Well, the game didn't go to extra time because he smashed me. So for him, it was an effective strategy to play 3 crappy players for chemistry and then make subs to get the people that he wants in straight away. What's the point of having specifications if people can still play with the players that they just want to play with through the substitutions? With the 3 nation subs, why not just you can have a maximum of 3 nations in your team? That's it, including the bench, including the reserves, including the start 11. That would be far more fun. Otherwise, just don't put any specifications in. Just let people play with whatever team they want any weekend they like. In my opinion, that would be great. But another narrow loss here. Last weekend when I got 34 wins, I know I buckled it a couple of times I could have probably got 36 or 37. But last weekend when I got 34 wins, those close games, I was edging them out. I was finding the goal, I was finding the win. I was getting lucky in so many games, getting lucky bounces. I scored quite a few 90th minute winners. This weekend, not so much. I was getting super unlucky, conceding a lot of late goals, conceding a lot of cheesy goals. And things were just kind of going against me this weekend, and it was due. You know, I've had a couple of really good weekends in a row, getting 34 and 33 wins. But yeah, another weekend league here where things just didn't start going my way, which was pretty sad. Epic Football says, hi Nep, I want to try and do YouTube and try and become a big YouTuber because that's my dream, but I'm currently stuck having between 154 and 160 subs. Any tips on how I can get over that 160 subs and trying to get more? I would just like some advice because you're one of my favourite YouTubers. Hopefully you see this and I hope you answer. If you don't, then that's fine. But it would help, and also keep up the great series. If your dream is to become a big YouTuber, like I would honestly say, like, just have a contingency plan. I would say don't find the time to work at what you need to work at, but also have a job. You know, like, what I would say is anyone that wants to become a full-time YouTuber or do YouTube as a successful job or do YouTube as a career, start off by getting a job in wherever you need to get a job. Tesco's, Sainsbury's, whatever your local supermarket is. Get a job at, you know, any way you can, so that you can finance yourself still whilst trying to become a YouTuber and dedicate your time that you need to it. Because the problem with, like, I know why a lot of people want to become YouTubers. You play video games, you know, you get to work pretty much when you want and how you want. You get to enjoy life, like if you're led to believe what people show you on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all social medias. It looks like people have the life, you know, they live the dream. And don't get me wrong, it is a fantastic job. It is a dream-worthy job right here. But you've got to think that you are one of probably 100,000, if not 100 million people trying to do the same thing. You know, like, it's very difficult to get noticed. You have to have something different. You have to have something that's special about you that people want to watch. And I don't know what that is, because I don't know what it is for me, and I don't know what it is. I couldn't possibly know what it is for you. All I know is that if you want to try to give it your best shot, your best option would be to get a job first, and then dedicate your free time to YouTube and see if it takes off. And if it takes off, carry on going with it. And if it doesn't take off, it doesn't matter. You've still got a career that you're heading towards through your alternative job. But best of luck, dude. Hope it goes well for you. Jay Klein says, Net, will you be staying with an EPL team for this FIFA, or go back to Liga Santander or another league? As of right now, I would probably say I'm thinking BPL. Although I'm not strictly BPL right now because I have that Lacazette up front. But I'm very happy to change the parts of the team to accommodate not BPL players. For example, I love this Hazard card. I will probably keep him for most of the year. There's a chance if he gets a second player of the month, I'll move to a second player of the month. Or if I get super lucky and get that blue Neymar in a pack or something, then yeah, I'll probably try that blue Neymar out. But the only thing, like the aim, the dream for me is to have the 96 striker Ronaldo up front, the informed Gareth Bale at right forward, and the Eden Hazard at left forward, and then building down into whatever team I need to accommodate my team. But once Team of the Year comes out, and then once Team of the Season comes out, everything I do will change, because I love playing with so many different players when those kind of things, like when Team of the Season comes out, you'll see me using a lot of different players, a lot of different teams, just because I love playing them, I just love playing with them, I love trying new things. So ultimately, yeah, there will be a change in the team. Right now, for me, the best choice players are the BPL players. They seem to be more overpowered than any other players. Because they're so popular and so in high demand, they always hold their value. Like right now, I bought Kante for 250, I can sell him for 300. I bought Walker for 220, I can sell him for 260. I've still got, like, I bought Pogba at one point or another during this video for like 570, and right now he's going for like 600. So I've got so many options to bring money back in if I ever want to then switch up to another league, because the BPL is in such high demand. It's just so easy to sell on the players. Besmir says, hey Net, what is your thoughts on attributes cards in Foot Champions? I lost my last game would have got me into Elite 3 to a guy with attribute cards on several of his players. So the one thing I'll say before I talk about my opinion on attribute cards is, you don't know if you would have won or lost that game anyway. You might have lost that game anyway. You might have lost that game by more if you didn't have attribute cards on. You never know. You don't know what you can't predict what would have happened, because there's nothing to suggest that he wouldn't have beaten you anyway. My opinion of attribute cards is this: they are in the game, so they are there to be used, and they are fair game. However, I don't think that if EA want to promote Foot Champions as a competitive game mode, I don't think that they should be allowed in Foot Champions. When people go to the LAN events, they won't be allowed in the LAN events, and so therefore they shouldn't be allowed in the live events, which is what Foot Champions is every weekend. So it's very hypocritical of EA to say, yeah, you can have attribute cards in Foot Champs now, but when we get to the LAN events, you can't. What if somebody does put attribute cards on the +10 every game that gets manager bonus, so +15 on every player every game, and only got to regionals because of attribute cards? Because I'm saying, like, on the odd game or here or there, that might not have been the difference, but over the course of 40 games, that might have been the difference for them getting 32 wins to 36 wins, or 35 wins to 38 wins. And so now they're going to go to regionals, and they're not going to be able to use them, and they're not going to be able to compete. So they've taken the place of someone who is worthy of competing, because they've used something that's not allowed in LAN events. So yeah, as I say, I've come up against attribute cards quite a lot. I don't see them often, if I'm perfectly honest. And we talked about it in a previous video. I was down to use the bronze ones that I've got this weekend league. Honestly, I can't be bothered to put them on my team every time. So I didn't even use them this weekend. So I still might use them. I might use them in Division 1 or something. But ultimately, yeah, they're there to be used until EA take them out. But I do believe EA should take them out. A VSB says, why do chemistry styles have different stat boosts to different players? Hunter does +12 pace and +6 shooting on MVP David Villa, but +10 pace and +9 shooting on team of the group stage Giuliano. That is based on what the player has already as stats. So if someone has 95 pace and 95 acceleration, you apply a Hunter card to them, they will only get +4 pace because the stats cap out. So in the terms of David Villa, he gets more pace because he's got less pace. and Giuliano gets more shooting because he's got less shooting than David Villa. The best way to like look at it is to go onto Foothead, look at the player and look at what it boosts specifically to understand a little bit more as to why. Scott Ward says, Yonep, although we played a similar number of games on our accounts, my club's worth around 400k, whereas yours is worth millions at this point. What would you give as main tips on how to generate coins? One of the best tips how to generate coins is playing FUT Champs and using bronze pack method. People still dispute it, people still don't like it, and to be fair, now more than ever before, it's not as effective in certain circumstances, because for example, when these new two players came out, the two new squad building challenge players came out, because so many people had saved players for days like this, the market got flooded and people undercut, and it basically drives the price low. However, you're still getting like 1 to 3k a player instead of 7 to 10k a player, so you still make good money, just not as good money. So yeah, my advice is just bronze pack method to stock your club up. Injury cards, fitness cards all sell. You'll get the odd kit here or there that will sell, and then you'll get loads of players that you can store and use for squad building challenges or sell when squad building challenges come out. For example, the kit that just came out for the Saudi League players, you won't see this until 4 episodes time, but I made about 70,000 coins from my Saudi League players, which I thought was pretty damn fantastic. Now, I had 3 more questions about, it was the stuff about school, so I'm actually going to save those for another video because we're pretty much at the end of this video here. But I do appreciate all the feedback and the comments that you guys give in the comment section. Now, we went 4-1. We then pulled it back. We lost 3 in a row to go 4-4. We finished our first 10 games 6-4, which is bad. Like that would put us an average of 24 wins after the 40 games, and that's not good enough. That's not even gold 1. So I had a long way to go, a lot to do, a lot of changing, a lot of getting angry this weekend league, a lot of like maneuvering this team around, trying to find what fits the absolute best. This is what the team looked like at the end of the first 10 games. Definitely not what the team looked like at the end of the last 10 games. However, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.